In this video, I want to tackle some of irrelevant issues that keep popping up every 4 years in my country, Nigeria, when we are preparing for our election. Because currently, people are starting to anticipate the upcoming election to choose who is going to become their next president. Because in my country, every 4 years, we do election to choose who will become the president of our nation. But there is something that is quite crazy that keeps happening every 4 years during those elections. We live in a country where people want to determine the fate, FATE, of other people. When election starts approaching, we find out that most people want to, by force, try to push their friends to vote for whosoever they believe is their own ideal candidate. And when those people refuse to oblige, that person makes them his or her enemy, creating problem and enmity here and there. And I've seen this thing happen time and time again. Friends become enemies because of election. Husband and wife divorce because of election. People you have never met before become your enemy because of election. You see, when you clearly look at the situation of these incidences that keep occurring every 4 years in our nation, you will be startled to death, because each time you hear me say that we have a lot of people in this country who went to school but could not get education, many academic derelicts. They may have PhDs, but if you see how they diagnose a situation and issue, you can immediately conclude that these people have never been to school, despite the fact that they can speak. Because you live in a nation that practices somehow democracy. And democracy, we know, is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And if that's the case, how would someone try to determine the destiny of others by pushing them to vote for whosoever they think is their ideal candidate? And when they refuse, they become their enemy. Sometimes they can even poison you to death. It simply shows that you are mentally derailed. Democracy gives you the will to choose whosoever you believe have the ideology so powerful enough to create constitution, institution that is going to lift your society out from every caprice or whatever problem that they are going through. Nobody stops you from voting for them. You go across the country, we have developed a lot of enemies. But you figured out that most of the people who become candidates in this our country, some of their children are studying in the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, and what have you. But these poor people back home here do not understand how the world works, hence they bring problem upon themselves. I've never seen anybody who is running for the office of the president fighting with the president. Neither have I ever seen their children fighting against one another. It's always the poor people like me and you that fight, because our brain has been dampened and damaged. Election is not a war. It is a place you come to cast your vote based on whom you deem fit to be the president of your nation. And after casting your vote, you make your way home back freely and safely, rather than creating enmity. When you begin to articulate life from this point of view, everything shatters and changes. And if you feel that whosoever I have chosen to vote for is not the ideal candidate. What you should do is to buckle up your shoes, put on your suit, and go run for the office of the president. And do not compel me to vote for who you want me to vote for. And when I don't do that, you see me as an enemy. When you figure out that it's a problem in the society, you don't go about talking about it. What you do as a thinking entity is to provide solution. But hence, every single one of us are talking gong, complaining gong. We are good in pointing accusing finger to one another. And I have never seen any of you being enemies to one another fight whosoever becomes the president after 4 years of your election. Why do you make enmity with yourself? Later, you blame it on tribalism. The reason why he won is because he's from XYZ tribe. The reason why he won is because he believes in so religion. You are dumb. I've told you people time and time again. APC, PDP, MP, whatever you like to call it, they're all the same people. You see them decamping from one place to another, talking about coalition or whatever you like to call it. It simply means they are one people, they are using your head. As a citizen of this nation, an intelligent person, you should be able to look closely and say, this is the person that I want to vote for. And when you do cast your vote for them, make your way home freely and do not become a problem or nuisance to the society. At the end of the day, I've told you, whatever president you get in this country is the best president you can ever get, because every one of us are the subtotal of the people in power. We are not better off than them. Forget the jobs that every single person in the country talks about. Say there's nothing that the president is doing. The people in the House of Senate, they are not doing anything worthy. And I'm saying if they reshuffle the system and take you and I and place there, you find out that we may even perform far below what they are doing. You think you are better. In a nation that produces inferior people, how do you think that when you get there, you are going to be better? You guys came from the same system. If you think you are better, go sort the situation. Go change the situation. Don't complain about it. Don't push somebody to become what you want them to be. I am XY this. I am XY that. I defend this person. I defend that person. And now you are creating problem and nuisance in the society. You said if you didn't vote for me, he's my enemy. You are dumb. That's why they give you voter's card. It is independent to you. You can use it to, you can cast to somebody that nobody heard about. There are tons and tons of political parties in our nation. I can wake up on the day of an election and decide to cast my vote for someone that nobody ever heard about. It doesn't concern you. I deeply, from my own conscious behavior and articulation and understanding of how Nigerians should function, chose him. And you should not be the one to tell me who to vote for. This is how sane society functions. I've seen a lot of problems. That's why I'm saying this. People have killed because of this kind of mentality. People become enemies to one another because of this mentality. People destroy so many things in the market and destroy people's shops and all of that because of this mentality. It simply means you people are dumb. You don't fight in election. You vote. Most of the people you fight for, their kids are studying in Britain, United Kingdom. They are studying in the United States of America. Most of them are studying in Ivy League University. You are dumping yourself around with the so deficient universities and deficient teachers around here. If I'm your professor, you can't go through my school and go through me as a tutor and behave that way. When you are out of the university, you know how to articulate. You know, you now develop thinking ability to analyze situation. That day you go ahead and vote. If you are conversant with history, you, by virtue of your perspicacity into reality of existence, could predict who will win, no matter who you choose to vote for. Don't be a fool. Don't let nobody fool you. Almost all the elections that have been done in Nigeria ever since I become of age, from my teenage years, I predicted them pure. None of them ever failed. It's because you don't read history. That's why you are destroying your brothers and sisters in the name of that. You didn't vote for the other person. You didn't vote for this person. When you know for sure the way the system works. That's what is called party administration. It is more powerful than primary. That's what is called primary. It is more powerful than the day you are going to vote for the office of the president, the day of the election. Do you know what happens in party administration? You don't know. get into political party if you think you are going to bring any change into the system. And when you get in there, make sure you force yourself into the cycle of the men that matters. That's how you change situation. You may not like it, but I'm going to quote Hitler. In his book, he says something quite clear. He said, if you don't like the rules in your country, he said, obey the rules. When you get to the top, you change it. Most of you want to change the rule from outside the world. You get into political system to change it. It is inside the political system that you change rules. You don't change it by talking, by complaining. That's why I'm so scared by what is happening across the continent and the country. Most of young people don't get into politics. They leave it to old people. But those old people, when you check the years where they were when they get into political parties, some of them are 29, 25, 30, 40 years. Now you are 60 years old and you are still talking jobs. Get into politics if you think you know better. If you understand political economy, political history, political theory, get in there and change the system for us. And when this is done, just watch out what will happen. I'm tired of seeing problem coming up every single 4 years in our country. Stop creating enmity. Go right now and say to yourself, I will never make no enemy in this forthcoming election. Everybody is my friend. I must vote for whosoever I like and I deem to be fit to govern my country. And after that, I'll go back home. But some of you, because of you are dumb, you don't know nothing. They will even give you gun. You fool yourself around. When your children are in Britain, in United States, you carry gun to go and carry box. You have mental problem. Learn, and when you learn, everything changes. This should be something that each and every one of us must keep abreast to as we wait for the next coming election. Because I see that most of our people are highly grossly ignorant people, and they will never accept that they don't know anything. Dumb people. I like to say it, and I don't feel apologetic to that. We are dumb people. If we're not dumb people, we'll not be behaving the way we're behaving. Killing ourselves, destroying ourselves over election. Is that what you should be doing to change the society? Look at the system you are in. Look at Nigeria. Look at the neighboring countries. Is that how things are doing in Europe? And I'm saying, if you don't wake up to this reality, you will continue to be a daft in the system that is of no use. Stop causing problems. If there's anything you should be a peacemaker. Democracy is the most involved type of government you can see anywhere in the world. But it's mainly for educated people. Hence, you people are dumb. You do things as though you are under autocracy. Wake up and live in oneness, in spite of your religion differences, in spite of your ethnic differences. Be your brother's keeper and vote for whosoever you feel is the best person to vote for. And whatever outcomes that you see, you must take and bear with it. That's how a brother nation develop. And if you not bear with it, you get into politics and change it. I do not have much to say, but I have to stop here. Don't forget that I remain Captain Africa. Go ahead right now and share this video with your family and friends. Ad Astra.